Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm C. Shilpa Surana, and in today's video we are going to do an IPO review of Paras Defense and Space Technologies Limited. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe my channel. Also, if you like the content of this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Please note this video is purely for educational purpose. Don't consider this as an investment advice. So let's start with our today's video. So now let's talk about the company first. So this company is primarily engaged in designing, developing, manufacturing and testing variety of defense and space related equipments. Okay, so there are four major streams of revenue for this company. So first stream is defense and space optic operations. Under this revenue stream, the various types of product that the company provides include like this infrared lenses are there. So these lenses are basically used in cameras to give appropriate night visions, and it is specifically used in armed forces and by border security personnel. Okay, so the second type of product are these large size mirrors. These are mainly used in telescopes. The next product is this optical domes, and these domes are used in missiles basically. Then likewise there are other products also which are provided under this particular revenue stream, and this revenue stream contribute most to its revenue, that is 45%. Okay, now the next kind of revenue stream is defense electronic operations. So under this, the company is providing high performance computing and electronic systems to its customers. Okay, and this stream contributes to 28% of its revenue. So the kind of products included under this revenue streams are like this rugged control systems. So these systems are basically used for automating the mission, which includes automating of critical functions like fire control, command control, etc. Then there is this rugged communication system. So these are high performing communication systems that are used in adverse kind of environment. Then there are this rugged panel personal computers, and these are high end computers which are meant for operating in harsh conditions. So likewise there are other products also which are provided under this stream which you can go through. So the next revenue stream is EMP protection system. EMP means electromagnetic pulse protection. So under this solution, the company provide various kind of services which helps in protecting our electronic equipments from the electromagnetic pulse. Okay, so now if you see, mainly the products that are included in this category are kind of shelves and stuff in which the products or the electronic equipments which needs to be protected can be kept inside, and hence they can be protected from the electromagnetic pulse. Let's see the products under this category. So if you see, this is EMP racks and cabinets. So these are the racks which helps in EMP protection. So as you guys can see, all these kind of products are such wherein you can fit in your electronic equipment inside this shelf and protect it from EMP, like I said. Okay, now the fourth revenue stream for this company is heavy engineering and defense operations. So this revenue stream involves providing heavy engineering products such as components for rockets and missiles. Okay, so this includes 26% of its revenue, and the various types of products which are included in this are like this cooling plates and this metal tubes and etc. Likewise you can see the other products also. Now the next kind of revenue stream is niche technology division, and what the company does under this stream is it partners with other companies which are leading in any particular technology, so that the company can take that technical know-how from that company and bring that know-how within India, and use it in preparing the equipments which are used in our defense. Okay, so the kind of products that are included in this revenue stream are large deployable antennas and avionic suits for commercial and military applications, and CubeSats for various space application. So these are the satellites kind of thing, miniature satellites that are used in space basically. Then it includes drones. So all these are included in this niche technology division. All right, now this company is having 2 manufacturing plants in Maharashtra, and it's planning to expand its Nerul facility in Mumbai. As per the RHP, there is no listed peer for this company. So now let's see the industry overview for this company. So if the industry is on growing trend, obviously this company will benefit out of it. So like we know that this industry is operating in defense and space, both the sectors. So let's see the defense sector first, and then we will move to the space one. Okay, so in the defense sector, as we can see, the spending is on increasing trend. So if we see this chart, the budgetary allocation since 2006 2017 to FY 2022, the budgetary allocation for this sector has been on increasing trend. And of course, if the budgetary allocation increases, the companies that operate in this sector will definitely benefit out of it. Now, the second reason why I feel this industry will grow in future is because of the geopolitics location of India. So as we all know that there have been territorial issues in the past with Pakistan and China both. So this requires that India should have a credible military force with itself. So for that there has to be constant upgradation, constant shift in technology as per the required latest technology. So all those things are definitely needed for our security forces, and hence for that I feel that constant upgradation will be required. So the next point, if you see, it's a modernization program wherein what is happening is all the three security forces, that is Indian Army, Indian Navy and Indian Air Force, are undergoing a lot of revamping, you can say, in a way wherein new types of vehicles or modernized vehicles, technology driven equipments are in pipeline for purchases, which is definitely going to benefit the companies which are operating in industry. All right, so one of the report also stated that with this modernization program, the demand for all the kind of products in which this particular company, that is Paras Defense, is dealing in will increase. And of course, when the demand for those products increases, the company is going to benefit out of it, right? So the next point is indigenous industry drivers. So these are some of the factors or initiatives which the government has taken, which makes me feel that in the future the prospect for this particular company is very good. So one of it is Atmanirbhar Bharat, under which a lot of components which earlier used to be imported from outside the country will be manufactured now within the country. So the next important initiative that the government has taken is of defense offset. So let's try to understand with one example. Suppose there is some machinery which needs to be imported from outside the country. Okay, so what this defense offset initiative states is that the vendor which is preparing this machinery outside the country should use 30% of the components which are manufactured in India in preparing that machinery or in building that machinery. Okay, so this 30% can vary depending on the agreed terms, or if that is not possible, like that company cannot use 30% of the components which are manufactured in India, then that particular company should transfer the technical know-how as to how that machinery gets manufactured. Okay, so either of the things. So if you exchange that technical know-how, then also it will help us in becoming an Atmanirbhar Bharat, because we will learn the process of how you can make that machinery, and going forward we ourselves can manufacture it, right? So now coming to the second industry in which this company is operating, and that is space industry. So if you see Indian space industry specifically, so ISRO has been enabling private players in providing their service in this space sector. Okay, also if you see the finance minister's announcement, it has provided a level playing field even to the private players or the private companies, so that the monopoly of the government companies or public companies can be removed. So both these moves, that is of ISRO and finance minister, is definitely going to benefit Paras. Okay, so now coming to the planned projects part. So as we can see, these are the missions that have been planned for 2021-22, and definitely these missions have increased in numbers. So this would definitely require a lot of investment in making these equipments or satellites, right? So Paras is one such company which is into providing some of the key components like the imaging systems, etc., for these particular satellites. And we have seen about different types of products that the company is supplying which can be used in satellites, right? So all those things are definitely going to benefit Paras also in some way or the other. Now the next point is there are some regulatory policies like the SATCOM policy, which is going to prioritize Indian satellites over international ones. So wherein we will focus on manufacturing within the country rather than importing anything. So all those things are definitely going to benefit the company in the long run. Okay, now coming to the financials of the company. So the financials of this company are not very attractive, to be very honest. So assets have increased from 2019 to 2021, but the revenue and PAT both have fallen. So revenue has fallen at a CAGR of 4.08, so that's negative of course, and the PAT has fallen at a CAGR of minus 8.78. Okay, so this is about the financials of the company, which honestly are not interesting at all. But I feel the industry in which this company is operating, in the long run, all these numbers will turn into favor for this company. There is high probability of that, considering that defense is something which will never go out of focus for any country. So a country has to emphasize on modernizing its defense system, upgrading its defense system, and adding on to its capacity. So all those things will definitely benefit any company which is into manufacturing a component for the defense system, basically. So that's why I feel personally that this industry is very lucrative for me, although the financials are not. Okay, so now if we see the order book of this company, it's almost 2 times of its revenue. So if you see the order book value, it's 3049 million, whereas the revenue is 1446 million. So it's actually more than 2 times its revenue. So what does this order book means? It means the orders which this company have received and which it will be catering in the future. Okay, so maybe they have not started processing these orders and will be processed in futures. So they have received orders to the extent which is 2 times of its current revenue levels. That is the revenue as on 31st March, which is a very big thing. So if we try to think it in this way, that for the next 2 years, even if the company does not receive any further order, it will be able to meet, its current levels, that is of 1446 million. Okay, so which is actually a good thing, about a company when it receives so many orders in advance, because that shows that in the future also the company will be up and running, right? Now coming to the strengths for this company, so as we have seen, this company is having wide range of products. So I have shown you in the beginning very few. There are lot many which you can actually find in RHP of this company, that is the red herring prospectus of this company. So there are almost 34 products for this company. Alright, so the next point is that this company is one of the few manufacturer of optics for space and defense applications. Okay, so this company is having a comprehensive in-house capabilities, wherein, like we have seen, from the designing phase till the testing phase, it is doing everything. Also, this company's offerings are aligned with the Atmanirbhar Bharat concept and the Make in India initiatives that the government has taken. This company is having strong R&D capabilities and it focuses on innovation. This company is having strong relationship with government organizations and government companies, and its main customer base includes HAL, BEL, BDL, etc. And also it is doing some exports to countries like Belgium, South Korea, etc. Another one thing that I feel is the key competitive strength for this company is various policies, like we have seen about the finance minister is emphasizing on creating a level playing field for private players. Also, there are other policies like the SATCOM policies, which is definitely, I feel, going to benefit this particular company. So these are some of the strengths that I felt were important to be highlighted. Now coming to the risk for this company. Now first risk is that its revenue as well as its PAT are on declining trend. The next important risk that I feel is that due to this corona thing going on, definitely there can be chances that in future, if situation worsens, there can be losses, shutdowns, slowdowns in the business of this company. All right, the next risk is that the revenue of this company is highly dependent on government contracts. Okay, and any time if the company is not able to win any particular government contract, then the revenue of this company is definitely going to get impacted. The next risk is that this company had negative cash flows in the past, although in the current year that cash flows have turned into positive, but still the risk is there that in the past it had been there, and in the future sometime it can again happen. Okay, so these are some of the risks that I felt were important to be highlighted. There are more risks in the red herring prospectus which you guys can definitely go through. Okay, now coming to the valuation part, at the upper price band, that is of 175 rupees, if you take average EPS of last 3 years, the PE works out to be 28, and if we take EPS of FY21, then the PE works out to be 31. So the range of PE is somewhere between 28 to 31. So as there are no listed peer for this company, we cannot compare this PE with either industry or with the peers. So you cannot say whether this particular share is overpriced or underpriced. However, what I feel is this PE of 28 to 31 range looks reasonably priced to me. All right. Now coming to the IPO details, this IPO is opening on 21st of September and closing on 23rd of September. And the price band for this IPO is 165 to 175. And the market lot is 85 shares. So minimum you have to apply for 85 shares if you want to apply for this IPO. So out of the total issue, that is of 170.78 crores, 140.6 crore is fresh issue. So this will be used by the company for its plans, whereas 30.18 crore is offer for sale. So this money will go to the promoters of the company. Okay. Now, if you see what are the objects of the issue, so for what purpose this 140 crore will be used is for funding its capital expenditure, for funding its working capital requirements, for repayment or prepayment of any loans, and other general corporate purposes. Okay. So if you see the GMP for this company, that is the gray market premium for this company, that is the premium at which the share of this company are traded in offline market, then it is almost 165 rupees to 170 rupees range when I had last checked. So this is the premium at which the shares of Paras are trading in offline market. Okay. Now coming to the conclusion part, we have already seen that the financials of this company are not very lucrative. The revenue as well as the PAT both are decreasing. But we see that the industry in which this company is operating is something which is looks very promising and have future growth prospect. Also, we see the share price of this company are reasonably priced. I mean, that's what I feel. You guys can have a different opinion, of course. And also there is a gray market premium for this company. So overall, I feel on listing day there can be listing gains for this company. However, if you are thinking from long-term perspective, then this is a risky investment and you guys can wait for a while before you plan to buy shares of this particular company. All right. So that's all guys from my side. I hope you like the content of this video and it helps you in making an informed decision. If you like the content of this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Bye.